the pull of Hank there. What went into pulling him out of the game, and how tough is it to pull a 4-year starter out of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of words that come to mind. It was a shocking start, disappointing, excruciating, things that, again, you guys aren't privy to come to fall camp, but we had a great fall camp. We had some days where we looked spectacular offensively. We had a great week of practice. Hank had his best week of practice I had seen since I've been here. And for whatever reason, it did not translate to our performance on the field. And, it's not so much maybe you make a bad play here or there, but when you're turning the ball over and clearly not seeing the defense in the way that we're used to seeing him operate, there just was clearly a disconnect at that moment for him, and for the chance for the team to compete, we needed to go another way, and he handled it with class and exactly the way I would expect him to as a good leader, and knew he wasn't playing well at all, and so did not want this thing to go on to the point where we had no shot, because we had dug ourselves such a hole that our offense really never even got a chance to show what it's capable of, because we were down so quickly that we had to do something drastic to try to spark some juice, so made the switch.
You're a former quarterback. I mean, how does getting pulled from the game affect a quarterback, and is that something that can kind of stick with them throughout the season?
Yeah, I think anytime that happens, there's nothing more drastic, nothing more, altering than making a move at the quarterback position. Right, wrong, and different. But at the same time, it helps us practice our response as people, as players, which is one of the things that we try to do as coaches here, is teach our guys about having a neutral mindset and how to respond in adversity. So he's got some serious adversity right now. He's going to have an opportunity to respond. If he can respond positively, it might be the greatest lesson he's ever learned. If he can't respond positively, then obviously things will keep moving.
You mentioned he had a chance to respond. I don't know if you named a starter this week, but is it something that you're going to work out the next few days through camp?
Yeah,
practice?
I think we have to give him the opportunity to respond this week in practice first, right? Like, we got to see where he's at, and if he's practicing at the level that shows that he's back to being who we expect him to be, then that'll be a good sign for us. And also giving Taylen the opportunity to have reps with the ones during the week, so that he has more rep opportunity to prepare himself, because it's not easy when you're getting reps with the twos every now and then. All of a sudden it's Oregon State, national television. Hey, you're up, bud. So we're trying to have those guys compete this week and see where things are at.
Over the last 36 hours, through conversations, film work, everything, what have you learned in terms of the disconnect between Hank on the practice field and what happened Saturday night?
Yeah, I think 2022, these guys got a lot going on. And right, wrong, or indifferent, probably reading what you guys are writing, probably listening to what people are saying, and it gets to a situation where they want to prove everybody wrong. I think our entire offense has had to listen and hear a lot of things over the past year about their performance a year ago and the expectations of playing offense here. And I think they had such a good prep, such a good camp, that their confidence was really high, but they lost the true side of things, which is just trusting your preparation and playing with some calmness and stillness so you can find joy out on the field. Instead, I think they were playing with anxiety, trying to prove people wrong. Hey, we're going to show you how great we are, and that creates mistakes, that we had not seen. Even from the first play of the game, we got George on a rail route and man coverage, and don't hit it. It should have been a touchdown, right? And then third play of the game, we got a dig route in there and looks like PI, and we don't get it, right? And then get an explosive to George, and then we come back, throw a vertical. Hank makes a poor decision, and now we're just kind of reeling it. Things that guys just had not done throughout camp, just playing out of character, and I think that just maybe shows that they wanted to do it so bad that they got out of themselves a little bit.
If he's getting into his own head a little bit, and he talks a lot about that openly in terms of how he spent the time this offseason working on that, how do you fix that?
Yeah, I think that's got to be up to him. I think he's got to make a decision as a man, what he's going to allow to be in and what he's going to allow to be out. And we can only teach that so many ways before, as an adult, you grow up and decide what you're going to listen to and what you're not going to listen to. And I hope that he's gotten to a point where he knows that we believe in him and that we love him and that he can be a tremendous player. He has been here at times. And I think if he does that, this might be the greatest thing that ever happened to him. Or again, he'll put himself in a position where he's unable to get past it. But I trust Hank. I believe in him. I expect him to have a great week of practice and respond in a positive way.
What do you think of Green's performance, and how do you think he developed as the game went along?
Yeah, I mean, I think we didn't score more points than they did, so I'm not happy with his performance. But I am, as his coach, quarterback coach, not the coordinator side of things, I'm pleased that he got an opportunity to play and got to experience those things. The mistakes that he made are pretty classic first-year quarterback mistakes. We had to call 2 timeouts because he called plays incorrectly. We got a play at the 5-yard line that's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Riley, and we called it the wrong way. So just things where like nerves get involved and he's not communicating the way that you want the quarterback to. And then we got the play that he runs for 80 yards. We got guys wide open. He doesn't see them, and he just takes off and runs for 80 yards. So I think he's one of those guys that when you're coaching, you'll be frustrated because you'll be like, dang, why didn't he do this? But while he's doing that, he's running for 30 yards and breaking the speed record or whatever we had here at Boise. So he's an exciting guy. I was really happy for him. And I thought in that moment, I've been that guy where it's like, hey, you're up, and you've had no reps. I thought in that sense he did a phenomenal job.
How much input did you have into the benching of Hank? We saw Taylen warming up. How's that communication go between Andy and you in regards to making a big decision like that, Coach?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be an open conversation. I think sometimes people might perceive, hey, the quarterback's playing poorly, and they don't know the true story. Hey, maybe he did everything correctly and someone else did something wrong, but it's always going to fall on him. There's moments like the other night where he was clearly making poor decisions and not seeing the defense the way he's capable of seeing it. I knew that right away within the first 6 plays. Hey, this is not Hank. This is not what I've seen. And so I was communicating that to Andy pretty early on, like, hey, something's going on here. This is not the Hank that we know. And before this thing gets out of hand, we might want to think about putting the young kid in and not letting this thing get too far out of hand. And unfortunately, it was too much to overcome.
Do you envision moving forward? Do you just need to pick one guy and go with it, or do you see scenarios where both guys can get some playing time?
I see us doing whatever we got to do to win games. And again, I want all our guys to play well in the quarterback room, so I'm going to do my best to help Hank respond positively this week, get him to play at his high level, and continue to grow Taylen with as much knowledge as possible so that whichever one's in the game, they can play to the best of their ability. Because the truth is, if the quarterback plays better, our team's going to play better. If we had better quarterback play on Saturday, no doubt in my mind we had a better chance to win that football game. So.
With George, how hard is it when he doesn't have space? We know how good he is in space, and finish with 13 carries for 9 yards. I don't think anybody would have ever envisioned a stat line like that.
Yeah, they did a good job up front. Again, I think all 11 guys offensively that were out there just, again, got outside of themselves. We had some real successful days running the football against our defense, which we know how talented our defense is. And I think, guys like Mason Randolph making their first start ever, Kekani being off for a year. I think it just, showed guys, again, they wanted to do it so bad, they probably got outside of themselves. And even George, I think some of the decisions he made with his vision and where to run the ball, I think he was trying to be Superman sometimes and, again, try to pull us out of it. All of our guys just trying so hard to do things the right way that instead of just trusting the training and trusting the success we've had the last month. And at the end of the day, that falls on me as a leader to instill as much confidence in those guys as possible, but also remind them, hey, man, just trust your training, trust the preparation. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Just believe in that and don't do any more than you need to. New Mexico. Yeah, this will be, I told the guys today, probably the greatest challenge we're going to see all year in all 12 games because of the coach. In my opinion, top 5 defensive coach in the history of college football. And they've got more talent than they had a year ago. They're playing extremely confident. They're doing some crazy stuff. He's as wacky as he's ever been. And they are going to pose a tremendous threat to us. And if we don't have a great week of prep, they will cause a lot of problems. And so I think if, again, you're looking to respond quickly from a poor performance, you got a short week against a great defense. So that should put you into focus pretty quick.
You mentioned guys were pressing a lot, it sounds like. I mean, how do you change that mindset in like 3 or 4 days?
It really what it comes down to is these guys care a lot. Right? They care a lot. They know what They know what this place stands for, just like all the coaches do. And our team cares about each other a great deal. I know we've talked about the vibe of this team. They are truly united. And I think there was a sense of this is our moment to show the world how great we are. Instead of just saying, guys, it's not about anyone outside of this. It's just us going out there and playing well and doing our job. I think it's just a lesson for those guys to learn. Football is like life, right? You play this game. You're going to have days like that. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. People are going to write articles about it. They're going to tell you were terrible when you play bad. They're going to tell you how awesome you were when you play great. You got to block out all that, not listen to any of it, and focus on the next opponent and trying to get as good as you can for that game. So I saw tremendous focus from our guys today. Obviously humbled by their performance the other night, but I expect a great response from all three phases, and for hopefully us to go out and do what we're capable of, which what I saw in fall camp was not what I saw on Saturday. And if we can take what we did from camp into a Saturday, I think people will be really happy with what we're doing. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.